Mother. Man.
You better watch your bloody mouth, you son bitch, before I wipe it off your goddamn face, cunt.
Spreading faster than a case of the clap in a trailer court. Able to shatter eardrums within a 666-mile radius. A podcast more brutal than all the rest. It's Murder Metal Mayhem!
All right, got a little angry there. Yeah. Trevor Hardy getting a little upset. We haven't even started talking about him yet. Man, need some more beans and toast, I guess. It is Tuesday, and we are throwing down a brand new Murder Metal Mayhem, and we're in Horns High Studios for the Horns High Podcast Network, episode 241 going on tonight. Getting even closer to that 250 mark. That's crazy. And 775,000 total listens. So
fucking A, dude.
Just killing it. So I'm here in Horns High with Chris. Joey over there in the 419 in Toledo. What's up, dude?
Fucking hanging out. Some bitchin' weather. So fucking nice out today.
Dude,
oh my God.
I was hoping that I wouldn't have to mow the lawn anymore this year, but I had to do it today after work before we did the podcast. I was like, man, I got to do this shit.
Yeah, I need to mow mine one more time, too. Just like,
mine can use it. It's just, I thought the same. I thought that was over with. Yeah. Apparently not.
I'd rather mow the yard than shovel fucking snow, though.
Yeah, for sure. I'm not complaining in the least. So... But what shirts we got on tonight, Chris? I see you're
rocking your
doing
shit.
Me
I got
solid over there.
Blunt Force Press shirt on. Fucking rocking that. Brand new Coors hat just got over the weekend.
Oh, nice. Fancy. Fancy. All decked out, man. Wow. Joey, what about you, dude?
I'm wearing this pumpkin shirt. It's got a face of a jack-o'-lantern. Our buddies D and Chad, who me and Chris work for.
Yeah.
Back in 2012, they bought us these shirts one day when we were out on the job, and we all wore them out and shit while we were working and went out to bars after. And I've worn this shirt to work ever since on Halloween. So this will be the 11th year I've rocked this motherfucker.
I don't even know what the fuck happened to mine.
That's awesome.
Kid stole it.
They probably fucking did.
And I'm sporting my Faces of Death shirt, man. Dr. Francis B. Gross, man. I love that shit. So it's always funny when I see somebody that recognizes it, and when they do, they're like, dude, fuck yeah, I remember watching that in my basement with my brother, and the fucking dead of night, because parents were going to kill us if they saw us watching it.
Parents won't let us watch it.
Yeah, so I just love that. So it definitely brings back memories. And people about my age especially, because that was kind of at the dawn of all that kind of stuff. So Faces
I like
of Death.
when you took the picture with the authors panel when you did that book thing.
Oh, yeah.
And you are all standing there, and you just see you with the Faces of Death.
Right. I thought that was funny too. It's like, gee, where's Pete? Oh, fuck.
Oh, there he is.
There's that fucking idiot on the end over there. So very good. Last week, guys, we did a good one. A little serial bomber.
Fucking piece of shit.
Total piece of shit. Mark Condit terrorized Austin, Texas for 19 days. In March of 2018, he scattered these package bombs all over the fucking city. Then he progresses to tripwire bombs and then mailing them with FedEx. He had a bunch of people looking for him. Total. And it had one hell of a fiery ending. So you need to go listen to that if you missed it, because it was a good one. And we had Tex on with us, so that's always a good time. Yeah. And Chris, you did the metal feature.
That fucking First Blood hardcore band from California.
Yeah, and I'm going to bring this up later, but I was inspired by your piece that you did on them to make me go listen to something else. So nice. I'll tell you that later. So always love it. And, we do that shit all the time with each other. We had a great Killer Cage match, like always. Little mayhem from me. And then the usual just stupidity. So if you missed it, go listen to episode 240. We were just passing 800 on that one today. So thank you, everybody that's listened to that. And if you didn't, go check it out. Now tonight, we're going back over to England. We've been over there many times. This time going to Manchester.
Yeah.
One of the, true crime fans probably not going to know this guy. Kind of obscure. We love him that way. Trevor Hardy, a very interesting case. He had a thing for murdering young girls and terrorizing fucking everybody around him. This guy was a fucking madman. And he also had a thing for biting nipples off. So
he should have been in the fucking goddamn Chicago Ripper crew.
He should have been, or tagging with Ted Bundy.
Right.
But we're going to get into that one tonight as we dig out the murder segment for you coming up next. So you want to keep listening. Now, Joey, you got the horns tonight, and I was surprised at your pick this week. Who are you going to be doing in the metal segment?
Actually doing a fucking crossover, or the father's a crossover, possibly, depending on who you talk to. But originally formed in Houston, Texas. I'm doing the band Dirty Rotten Imbeciles.
Nice, D.R.I. Fuck yeah.
Fuck yeah, dude. I remember they were in heavycore in the early days, and I dealt with, was it Sparky?
Spike.
Oh, Spike. Okay, I knew it was something. Yeah. I dealt with Spike. Very cool dude. They were one of the early bands, bigger bands that joined. And when the bigger bands joined, it helped bring more attention to it. So that was super cool. So yeah, those guys definitely badass. And so I'm anxious to hear you talk about that. And then Chris, you got a little Lost Classic?
I got a Lost Classic for y'all, yep.
Very good. And we'll talk about a little metal news, what we've been listening to and all that, and more stuff on the YouTube channel that's coming up. Already been doing some changes to that, but going to be a lot more here very soon. Speaking of that metal segment, go subscribe to that YouTube channel because we just posted the video of the metal segment from episode 238. And Joey, that was the one you did on Decrypt, which was fucking cool.
Fuck yeah.
So, you guys can go back and listen to or watch us do the metal segment of that episode. That's on the YouTube channel. So go there and subscribe. We're throwing down a brand new killer cage match tonight. Of course, that's when we have a list of 100 killers, 100 objects for them to fight with, a variable in the cage, a song cranking the fuck out while they kill each other. And we get our listeners to help us pick the numbers and who's fighting and what they're fighting with, Chris.
Tonight we have Elliot Alexander.
Hell yeah.
He's back again. We got Ray Mac Daddy McFalls. What up?
Fuck yeah.
And we got our friend Sue Rovens.
Hell yeah. Fellow author, Sue. Very cool. So thanks, guys, for that. And we got a good matchup tonight, Joey. Getting kind of brutal. Very interesting. Who do we got fighting tonight?
Well, we're talking about wiping smiles off people's faces, and Babyface Nelson, he'll do that.
Yeah, a little bit.
And he's going to go up against fucking, who is he? We don't know, but the Zodiac Killer.
The Zodiac. I always love
Or she.
That's right.
Never fucking know.
Or they. We don't know.
True.
But
they, them.
They, them.
But I should shut up. We're going to get canceled. So... yeah, it's always funny when we have the Zodiac or Jack the Ripper in one of these because, like you said, we really don't know, but we'd have some fun with it. So that'll be great. And, Chris, we always know the objects can make this.
They always throw it fucking goddamn chink in the fucking cog.
Yeah, and if we know that if there's any firearms to be had, fucking Babyface is going to get nasty. It's going to be interesting. And we got a variable and a song playing while they kill each other. So you got to keep listening. That'll be in the Mayhem segment later on. Big thanks to everybody out there listening. We keep seeing the numbers come in, and it's very flattering. Like I said earlier, we're at 775,000 total listens to the podcast. That's awesome. And this past week, we're at 2,800 total. So thank you, and just keep spreading that word, man. We appreciate it. Joey, how about those top 10 cities listening to Murder Metal Mayhem?
Number 1, Chi-Town, Chicago, Illinois. 2, Brisbane, Queensland, Australia. 3 is Clinton, Illinois. 4, Melbourne, Victoria, Australia. 5, Fort Wayne, Indiana.
Fuck yeah.
6, Sedoris, Illinois. They've been on there quite a bit. 7, Honolulu, Hawaii. 8 is Laurel, Maryland. 9, Vicksburg, Mississippi. And 10, Normal, Illinois.
Oh, ain't
Very
nothing normal
cool,
about
and it's
normal.
nice to see these cities the same. I mean, like very dominating. Some of these cities been on this list, so thank you very, very much. And then, Chris, what about the countries?
Countries, as always, U.S. is fucking number one. They 80% though. I mean, that's actually gone down a little bit.
Yeah, it varies. You know, it varies.
But yeah, fucking then Australia's got 8%, and Canada with 3%, and the rest of them behind are 1% or less. But we got Germany, Denmark, the UK, Sweden, Taiwan, Czechia, and France. I don't know if that's how you pronounce that.
Yeah, Czech or Czechia. I'm not sure. So thank you.
Thank you.
all
Oh
of
yeah,
you.
don't just because I can't pronounce your country's
don't-
name. Don't
take it personally. So many thanks, everybody out there, even if you're not in one of those cities, because every one of you makes a difference. We appreciate it. And don't forget to check out our website, murdermetalmayhem.com. A lot more coming on there as we start rolling out this big YouTube thing. So it's going to be cool. So you can go there, murdermetalmayhem.com, get some merch. We just had somebody join the 666 Club through the website. So that's a great way to save some money. So that guy...
We'll probably talk about it later, but the whole reason why I think he joined right away is because an awesome perk
I think
that people are getting right now.
I think you're right. Because I sent him that. Because I had
he messaged me about he listened to it already. We're alluding to something. We'll talk about it.
Yeah, I want to hear it. So
Yeah.
very cool.
So what you smoking on there, Joey?
Actually, I'm still smoking that Lansing, Michigan killer that I got. That I don't know the name of, but it's really fucking good. I almost thought about messaging my buddy to ask him just so I could have
Just
the
so
name
you knew
for
the name?
episode
Yeah,
this
yeah.
week. Yeah, but I was like, fuck that. I'm just gonna call it that Lansing shit, and then next week I'm running low on this, so next week or we have the bonus episode. So after that, I'll have something new.
Hell yeah! I once again am smoking on the best weed.
Free.
Free, yeah,
Under the couch or one of those. So we got a lot on our plate tonight, guys. We're going to be taking a trip across the pond, racking up those miles on our credit cards, but we're going back to England. And let's see if we could stop some fucking maniac who likes killing girls and biting their nipples off.
Fuck yeah, let's go bloody metal on. I said metal again.
You did. Even in another fucking accent. You still
God
did
damn.
It. God damn. I'm blaming you on this one, Chris, because last week you were talking about First Blood, who's a hardcore, influenced metal band, and my go-to with the hardcore influenced metal is Propane. I fucking love Propane, and so I went back and checked out some shit. That was the song off their last album. That was the song off their last album, the title track called Voice of Rebellion. Fucking badass. The whole album fucking kills it. I'm glad to see Gary still doing it. He was really cool in the early days of heavycore. Propane was on one of our comps. He gave us a live track to use on one of the Core Till Death CDs.
Yeah.
And he also sang some guest vocals with me on the Low 12 song Kill Everything. If you like using YouTube, there's a video for that out there, I think, or that may be the one. They actually took down 2 of our Low 12 videos for violence, and I think Kill Everything, now that I say it, was one.
Was that
We kill like 20 women in the video. Yeah, it's pretty brutal. But anyway, that song, if you want to check out the song, it's me and Gary singing. So very cool. So thanks, Chris, for that.
No problem.
Just, a little
That's what I'm here
something
for.
different, and it was fucking killer. All right, well, tonight we are doing the case of Trevor Hardy, known to the media as the Beast of Manchester for his horrible crimes against young girls. We're talking 1974 to 76, so that serial killer fucking just bonanza Vronsky talks about it, the golden age,
Yes,
man.
sir.
It's just in the 70s, especially. His parents were afraid of him. Everyone was fucking afraid
yeah,
of this
fucking
dude.
13-year-old
Beats
kid.
his brother almost to death. I mean, it's fucking nuts. He's in and out of prison. One of the UK's longest serving prisoners. His body count is only 3. I say only, but we're doing some of these,
Right.
70, 80 people, but still,
That's
3 people.
3 too many still.
Exactly. And it's an interesting story what measures he went to hide evidence.
Oh my
We're going to
God,
get into
dude.
it. It's fucked up. And so we'll dig into this one tonight for you. I can't wait. So, Chris, we've done a number of these UK cases. I mean, some big names.
Right? Fucking Fred and Rose West and shit. The Moores
Yep.
murders. Fucking
Yeah.
Joanne
Joanne Dennehy
Oh
was
my
fucking
God,
brutal. That chick was nuts. Harold Shipman. We've done some good ones. Charles Bronson.
But Charles Bronson was fun though.
Yeah, that was a good one. But these cases, are not as well known to us here as they are, of course, over there.
Right, especially the older ones, I think. And also like this dude, Trevor Hardy, he was out the same time as the Yorkshire Ripper, right when they were catching him or whatever.
Right.
So Yorkshire kind of overpowered what was going on with that. at the
Without a
moment.
doubt. Without a doubt.
So like it just back then in the 70s, news didn't travel like it does today, where it's like boom, it's on the
Right.
fucking screen.
That's true. That's true. Social media, of course, changes all the game there. But Joey, I don't think a lot of our listeners are going to know about this one, but I think it definitely fits some murder metal mayhem action. Don't you agree?
Yeah, I agree with that. And I mean, Trevor Hardy, this guy is just a mean son bitch. Like,
Literally
everything
just
about
mean.
this, yeah, he is just a fucking mean, brutal individual of a human. And so, I mean, yeah, he's one that, yeah, I don't think a lot of people are going to have heard about him, but we're going to let you know.
That one picture of him with the eyebrow and shit, dude. Like,
Yeah.
Yeah, definitely. There's a few good pictures of him. One I posted today is, I think, the one that you're talking about, Chris. But I think it's a good one. I had never heard of this guy, but watching stuff on YouTube, I stumbled on that World's Most Evil Killers, which I love those. And that's what made me go, oh, yeah, this would be a good one. And that's how they all start, right? We're watching stuff, we're listening to stuff,
Right.
making notes. I've gotten better at texting myself so I don't forget these, because there's been so many that's like, fuck, I can't remember what that
fuck was
guy's
the name
name
of that?
was, you know?
Yeah.
But with YouTube history, it's nice because I can go back and watch something that I've already seen, and, it's there. So it makes it easier than it used to be. All right, so Trevor Joseph Hardy, born in Newton Heath, Manchester, and that's, of course, in England, in 1945. He is the youngest child at first of the family, and he kind of liked being spoiled,
Right.
and
I'm the only one here.
yeah, I
Fuck
could get
dude.
away with some shit, But his father was a disciplinarian, and so Trevor's kind of bucking that whole thing, but at first, he's a kid. But then they have another boy, so now he's
Colin.
not the baby. Yeah, Colin. And I don't think
Colin
it's
will
Colin.
come up in this story again
I don't
later.
think this is the Colin from 815 Posse, though.
No,
All right, so that's a different Colin here. All right, but Trevor would become very jealous of the baby brother, now Colin, and typical kid shit at first, fighting for parents' attention and all of that. But Trevor, of course, would go way beyond that.
yeah.
And escalate into some serious delinquent behavior. He's fighting in school, he's getting in trouble. And I mean, Chris, I know, not to say that you could relate to somebody being bad and getting into
fucking
trouble
have
as a
done
kid.
Delinquent shit when I was a child. That has happened. Yeah, this dude, like, he's like super fucking young though, like
Right.
10, 11, 12, early teens, like that whole time. Like, he's fucking out there. He's committing all these crimes. He's fighting people at school. He's fucking
He's bullying kids like
bullying
crazy,
kids.
man.
And he's breaking into fucking people's houses and stealing shit, like
Right.
mainly money, because you can't trace it and you just spend that shit. But yeah, and then he gets into some fucking dumb shit like the fighting thing is hardcore, but he gets violent with the motherfuckers, like straight beating them.
Right.
Yeah.
It's beyond just like a couple of punches. It's like a fucking prison fight. Like somebody could
from
die.
A fucking 10-year-old just going to town. Like, no way, dude.
Yeah.
Like even the fucking as far as the theft part and shit, like the like neighbors and the people in the neighborhood blocks, they weren't used to locking their doors during the day. They're like, no, fuck
That's
that,
true.
dude. Like,
not with this kid
around, because he's gonna come into our house
and they're afraid of him. So
they're afraid of him because they know he's just gonna rage out on them. Fucking,
that's fucked up. A bunch of adults being afraid of some 13, 14-year-old kid, but he was fucking crazy.
And there's a reason.
Yeah. And he was a true fucking sociopath. You know, he just wants what he wants, doesn't give a fuck about anybody else.
No.
Not at all. So there was an early head injury to make it worse here.
But this one's pretty brutal, dude.
Yeah, they talk about a sliver of bone from his skull entered his brain and at certain times would put more pressure on it, and that could certainly explain him not being able to control his, impulses and all that kind of stuff.
Because of his love of alcohol.
And that doesn't help, right? So
I love alcohol too, dude, but I'm not out here killing bitches.
Yeah, and you don't have a sliver of bone going into your skull, hopefully. So,
not yet.
So, he's just a mess, both, at out of his control. I mean, it's some of it. I know some of it, he was doing before the head injury, but that certainly didn't make things better. People they talked to said they definitely saw a shift in his behaviors and all of that just kept getting worse. And like you said, Chris, the alcohol abuse that's the last fucking thing this guy needs to be doing.
Right.
Full-blown alcoholic. Now, Joey, I mean, what happens here? He kind of blossoms into a depraved fucking mess, man.
Well, he just starts escalating stuff, and he's starting to add weapons to the situations. And like one time in 1972, he's at a pub, and I mean he's with one of his buddies, and they're getting in a fight over the fucking tab. Who's gonna write it? Right. He gets pissed off. Trevor Hardy says, "Fuck this!" He fucking storms out of the fucking pub. Comes back in with a goddamn pickaxe
and says,
"Fuck
you,
dude." He fucks the dude up with it, like fucking beats him, but he got in trouble for that one. And not only that, that's not the only time he used a pickaxe. Like,
it comes up later.
Yeah, that's a brutal fucking weapon, man.
Look, it is.
Who was the chick in Texas that was fucking orgasming when she was using
what was her name?
God damn it! We did an episode.
Tex is probably banging his speakers right now.
God damn it.
But she's on death row or was on death row down there.
You looking it up, Joey?
So but she was orgasming when she was killing the dude with the pickaxe. So I don't know if he was, ejaculating when he was. I don't know.
But no, I'm sorry, but you got a pickaxe and you this as brutal as you are. And you're
Carla Faye Tucker.
Carla Faye fucking Tucker.
Thank you, Joey. Carla Faye. How could I forget you, Carla Faye?
The fact that you didn't kill this guy is amazing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. Sure. Without a doubt. I mean, one good fucking hit to the head with a fucking pickaxe is fucking game over, man.
Yeah.
So he ends up getting 5 years over that.
5 fucking years, bro.
Yeah, that's all. He's back in prison, but now he's learning from the best, right? We've talked about that before. Yep. Like Leahy says, college.
College,
but this is what's fucked up, though, is the guy, he had fucking brain damage and he was super fucked up. Hardy gets in trouble for it. He gets sentenced for that.
Right.
After he gets sentenced and gets sent to prison, the guy dies from complications to the fucking injury.
And now he's
pisses
pissed.
him off.
Yeah, and Hardy's already sentenced. Yeah, but Hardy's already sentenced, so he doesn't get the murder years for it. He's still sentenced on the original what he got charged for.
That's true. That's true.
Yeah, that's fucking crazy.
That is crazy.
But like you said, he's fucking pissed. And the whole time Trevor Hardy's in prison, all he's doing is waiting for the day he gets out
he can go
to start his revenge.
Oh, yeah. Because it's not just him. He's got a list, right?
Right,
so that's the first one on the list. But now he's jacked because he can't. So now he's even more mad. and he's just a fucking raging fucking maniac here. So he's 29. He's out on parole, hell bent on revenge, as we've been saying, furious, and he gets this woman that he was obsessed with while he was inside. He wants to fucking go get her, so he throws a fucking axe through her window.
Right.
I mean,
She's
what
like-
happened to like the pebble on the window with the guy in the bushes telling you what to say, kind of a
standing
thing?
outside with
yeah,
the boom box
romantic
over your head and shit.
Maybe it's a thing with him. He was like, that's like a bouquet,
Dude,
throwing
I
an
don't know.
axe through your
all
window.
because and I think I can't remember her name, but this girl was like younger than him, and she just when he was in prison, sent him all yeah, I don't even want to be with you anymore.
Right.
And that's what pissed him off. He's like, oh, fuck this bitch.
Yeah. So he does that. He's throwing the axe through her window. Thankfully, she was not home, but this guy's just fucking insane. At one of the docs that I watched, they interview the younger brother Colin quite a bit.
I saw, yeah.
Yeah, and he talks about how terrifying his brother was, and he gets into a lot of this stuff where that's where this comes from. He even forced Colin's girlfriend after he beat the shit out of Colin, unconscious on the floor. He then tells Colin's girlfriend to make him some lunch, and she does.
Yeah. What you
and
gonna
it's
do?
beans and toast. Apparently, that's like a British thing. I don't know.
What you gonna do?
So
You can't do
make
shit
me some beans and toast, or like our
And he
biscuits and gravy.
probably banged her.
He probably
raped her,
did.
It's
whatever,
very possible. This
I'm
guy
gonna
was whack.
beat you or beat you. I mean,
Yeah,
that was never
just
reckoned.
fucking whack.
You ever seen the movie Four Brothers when dude makes dude get on the floor and eat his food like a dog, and then he makes the girl do it? I feel like that's what he would have been doing.
Yeah.
You fucking eat that off the floor like a dog.
Yeah, he's fucked up. He's fucked up, and he's got some fucking brass fucking cojones, that's for sure.
Dude.
Now, Chris, I mean, that's just about as much fucked up as you could fucking muster here.
Yeah.
And the fact that she's just like, dude, whatever, right?
Like I said, what else you gonna do? You can't do anything else. You'll be next. If I don't do this for him, I'll be next.
Yeah.
Basically.
Yeah, because he
don't give a
beat
fuck.
Colin almost to death. I mean, we're not just talking about a couple of punches and a shove. This is brutal. So Joey, now he escalates things a little bit more. So what's the next step here?
Well, he escalates him quite a bit more because he fucking delves into fucking homicide now.
Right.
It's fucked up because he wanted the guy Colin dead. Colin died because of him, regardless.
No, Colin's
of if
his
it was,
brother, not the other guy.
I'm sorry. The victim, I can't remember now, but he died. His whole intent was he wanted to kill that dude. Well, congratulations, you fucking did it. But that wasn't good enough for him, so he's still got this fucking desire in him and this fucking yearning to fucking commit homicide and to kill the person himself. So
right.
He finds 15-year-old, Janet Leslie Stewart. She's coming home from a party on New Year's Eve in 1974. She's stabbed to death, buried in a very, very shallow grave in North Manchester. Now, supposedly, Hardy was out looking for a certain female that, he wanted to commit some harm to. That wasn't her, but he either mistaken or mistook her for that girl, or he just said, fuck it, I found one, now you're going to feel the wrath.
This is the one that got out of the cab. I can't remember. I need to write names down. But they got out of the cab and they thought the cab driver said the name that he was thinking, but it wasn't. Because her name was the victim was named Leslie or something.
Yeah, Janet Leslie.
Janet Leslie,
yeah. So definitely fucking brutal here. So now he's escalated to murder. He's going back and forth to the site where he buried her, doing some shit with the remains. He decapitates her. He tore the body apart limb from limb. Some believe he did this more to destroy the evidence than just being sick and doing some Bundy kind of shit or some Green River shit. But he would take the jewelry from the victims, give them to his girlfriend. We've heard that a lot.
Yep.
But the whole going back to the remains, I mean, I don't know. I mean, I get trying to hide evidence, take the head so you can't identify her. But the other stuff, I don't know. I think it might have been kind of a mix of the two. What do you guys think?
I think he was using their arms to jerk off.
He might have been. He might have been.
I don't know.
What do you think, Joey,
the arm
about
we
it?
got here, you don't know how many times I've been in the studio when you ain't home and I just grabbed the fake arms.
Oh,
and just-
damn. Wow. Damn. I notice sometimes it gets wet when I come in here. I'm not sure what's going on.
I can't remember which victim it was, but if there is an argument to show that he was really just trying to destroy evidence, man, this motherfucker, one of the bodies he had thrown in the water,
right?
He went,
yeah,
jumped in this freezing ice cold water,
right,
found the body,
right,
and then used like a fucking rivet on his fucking jacket to scratch his bite marks.
Right.
They said he fucking did like 59 tears with this rivet on his fucking wound.
In freezing cold
because
water.
he was so afraid. Yeah, because he was so afraid that they were going to match it
it's
to him.
It's the last one I think he does that with.
Which this is pretty... Oh, okay. But, so later on, but still, that just goes to show that, the probability that this dude... Yeah, he was about it.
Yeah, he was a fucking madman. So at
in Disneyland,
at this time, there's 2.5 million people living in Manchester. So one murder obviously is not going to be, cause for alarm. I mean, they're dealing with it, but what are you going to do in a city of that size with probably quite a few murders? And Trevor Hardy would keep on killing young girls. 7 months later, he's at it again, Chris. March of '75. What's the deal here?
So there's this Wanda Scarla.
Right.
She's a 17-year-old bartender.
Yeah,
That's
pretty young
cool.
for a bartender, man.
That means in about 2.5 weeks, my daughter can be a bartender in Manchester.
Yeah. Yeah, I thought that seemed strange, but hey,
yeah,
it
she's
was
a
the
bartender at
70s.
this hotel and shit. Fucking, she's walking home from her job. Like, okay, off work, done serving beer. Now you ain't got to deal with these drunks, but no, now you got to deal with Trevor Hardy.
Right.
No good. He fucking comes up and he just smacks her in the head with, was it a chunk of concrete or a brick?
I saw both.
Yeah, I saw both as
The
well.
concrete sounds a little bit more brutal, so let's go with the concrete.
Skull shattered by concrete.
Yeah, that's
Like,
fucking nasty,
Jesus.
man. He's on a construction site, so there's chunks of
So he ends up
concrete.
smashing her fucking head, and then he chokes her out with her own fucking like leggings, pantyhose, whatever you want to call them.
Right.
But he also just like beat this girl with that piece of concrete so hard that her face was just destroyed and unrecognizable.
Yeah.
Like just destroyed.
Yeah, I wonder why he even went to the problem or the to strangle her, because I would think caving her head in with a block of concrete would solve that.
Oh my
But
God, dude.
that's overkill, I
that's,
think. But
see, that's fucked up, man.
that may have
Take a
been
drink.
part of his fantasy,
It's
was
like-
to strangle her too. I don't know.
It kind of makes me think of the scene in Say You Love Satan.
Oh, Ricky Castle.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
And the fucking thing on YouTube, the movie, when he's fucking bashing his head in with the boot heel, it just like disintegrates. I'm like, yep, that's what it made me think of.
Yeah, that I just saw a documentary on him last night. Speaking of the
For
devil,
real?
Ricky
No
Castle.
shit.
Yeah, I'll have to send you the link.
But yeah, she's
So yeah, I mean, he beats her. The jaw is falling off. Like
Yeah.
that's how bad this was. And she's also sexually assaulted.
kicks her
and
in the
even-
gut.
Yeah, kicked
I
her
know,
vagina with the
in the
fucking
gut.
boot. Like that's fucked up, man. That's harsh.
Punt the cunt.
Yeah, I mean, this guy's just out of fucking control. So they find Wanda's body partially buried there at the construction site, only 200 yards from her home. So that's fucked up. She was so close. Her body is mutilated. As we said, there's also these distinctive bite marks on her torso and by her vagina. He also bit off her right nipple, so he's into this whole fucking nipple thing. And he was a fan that watched in the documentary of another killer, Neville Heath, which was I watched a documentary about him. He's now on the list.
All right.
A UK killer from the early 20th century who was a pilot in World War II, and also killing women and biting off nipples.
Fuck yeah, dude.
So yeah, he sounds like a fun guy to cover at some point.
Yeah.
So
do you think?
so he's into this dude. So these serial killers and killers we talk about, they're students of this kind of stuff, like we are, but we're not killing people. But I'm just saying, like, they're like students of serial murder.
Right. You think they're looking at like, I need to give some of this shit to Ed Gein. He's got a whole box of them. Dude. Like, we need to hook up.
So yeah, he was an admirer, fan, whatever you want to call it, of another killer, Neville Heath. So yeah, we'll talk about him, I'm sure, at some point in the future. So Joey, the body of Wanda, they find her naked with very little clothing.
Yeah, they find no clothing, but she did have one shoe.
Yeah.
And what's crazy, so they cordon off the crime scene, they do everything they gotta do, take the body, take the shoe. The next day, fucking somebody stumbles across the crime scene, and the other shoe is sitting right there, like dead in dead fucking plain view.
Right.
Meaning that he had to have came back just to fuck with them.
Yeah.
And put the shoe there.
That's fucking balls, man.
Yeah.
Plus, with his collection, I'm surprised he gave up the shoe. Like Jerry Brudos would just be like fucking
why are you giving the
rolling
shoe
in
away?
his grave about that shit. So apparently, like you said, he's fucking with the cops. He's doing the Jack the Ripper bit here. Wouldn't doubt that he was also a student of what he did.
Right, for sure. I have no doubts.
Exactly. So he's drinking in a pub and runs into his younger brother, Colin, the one that he beat the shit out of. He tells Colin that he was the one that killed Wanda Scarlet, or Scarla.
Now, isn't this when he gets his ass kicked, though? Like, he's like, oh, wait, I told my brother. Now I need to beat his ass to make a point.
Yeah, I think he gets beat twice, as a matter of fact, but I could be wrong. He gets beat. But Colin is, shocked, obviously, to hear his brother admitting to killing this woman. So he decides to go to the fucking cops. And he's a brave fucking person, because not anybody in Manchester's wanting to fucking turn in Trevor Hardy. But he goes to the cops, and, he's hoping to keep his brother off the streets to stop all this craziness, because he knows he's not going to stop killing.
Right.
And he told the cops, if you don't fucking put him away, this blood is on your hands if he kills again, and he was exactly right. So, Chris, I mean, while he's in jail getting investigated, what does he do?
Well, he had talked to his girlfriend or ex-girlfriend immediately, like, for an alibi. Talked to her and saying, hey, say I was fucking here with you.
Right.
Like, I ain't do shit, whatever. But then he remembers, oh, fuck. I bit this girl a lot and bit her whole fucking nipple off.
Right.
So he somehow gets a file snuck into the fucking prison.
She smuggled it in.
Yeah, she smuggled it in. And
In a
fucking,
cake?
Yeah, right? It's
Probably
like
in her fucking butthole, I'm guessing.
It's like a Bugs Bunny cartoon.
Prison wallet,
Fucking
man.
prison wallet. Yeah, but he proceeds to take this fucking metal file and fucking file his teeth down so much that they can't fucking make.
God.
Dude,
God.
could you fucking imagine?
Oh my God.
Like, just grinding on your own teeth with a file. Oh.
You didn't, Chris, you didn't do that, did you?
Oh, hell no.
Okay.
Hell no.
Yeah, the fucking dentist or whoever they had on that documentary is like, he had to shave them down
almost
like to the
gums. Yeah.
He's like, that's like raw nerves. Like, that is unbelievable. That's like North Vietnamese fucking torture shit.
Insane, dude.
Yeah. This dude's fucking
The whole conversation makes my balls and butthole clench and fucking quiver.
Oh my God, for real, man.
Yeah, that is just fucking gnarly, man. When I heard that, that's when I said, we need to do this case.
This dude, like Trevor Hardy, he'd fucking stomp some ass in a cage match.
Oh, without a doubt.
You know
without
it,
a
dude.
doubt.
Against some street toughs.
Street tough.
Bro, my fucking
I
buddy,
saw
like,
that, dude.
did you see that? I
did.
was dying. I was like, get the fuck out of
I
here.
saw that. I loved that he called that out. That was just funny because we
Colton
were
Howell, I know you're fucking listening to all our
Fuck
shit
yeah,
too. Thanks
brother.
for that one.
Fuck yeah, bro. So he also tried to fool the saliva test they were going to give him. He thought biting into a raw onion would do something with the enzymes in his saliva, but he was wrong. And they were able to match his blood type with the saliva found on Wanda's breast where he bit her. And of course, this is before the DNA as we know it. So this was
It's just
basically
blood type.
blood group, yeah.
Yeah.
And so, that's really all they could do with it, but it's another piece of evidence to put him there. So, and I'm guessing his breath was just fucking rancid, man, for a while, biting on an onion. So, Joey, I mean, that's some fucking hardcore shit. What did you see anything about a police interrogator or investigator about what he said?
Just talking about whenever he was fucking filing his gums.
Oh yeah, that was the gum thing. Yeah, so that's just wow.
That shit, like I said, that shit makes my fucking stomach quench, and just the thought of doing that, like anybody who's ever, and a lot of people, if you've had tooth pain, just like
boy.
that shit sucks, and to have all your
awful.
teeth. You know what's fucking crazy though about Trevor Hardy? So this time in the 70s, it seems to be a little bit different than like the serial killers in the United States, even up until the early 80s, because a lot of them, even Bundy, like, they weren't thinking about their teeth impressions or the saliva and all that.
Yeah.
They might have been thinking about fingerprints and shit.
This
This guy, Trevor
He's
Hardy,
like, "Oh, my
over in
teeth."
fucking the UK,
He's on the cutting
like,
edge,
I know
right?
about this shit.
Yeah.
That's
Yeah,
crazy.
I'm
point.
just amazed, man. This guy is definitely on it. So yeah, it's fucked up. And so they don't have enough evidence though to hold him. So he ends up getting out, and they do though have him for that assault on his brother Colin.
Yeah, and Colin's all fucking flipping his shit.
Yeah, for sure. I mean, he's got to be scared to death, Chris.
Like,
I mean,
for real, dude. Like, and he was. Him and his wife both. They're like, we can't be having this motherfucker. I know it's my brother, but he done almost killed me once.
right.
I ain't fucking
Right.
going
Boarding
through this
up
shit.
windows,
He's fucking,
fucking-
literally boarding up windows, extra locks, fucking
Chairs
doing the old
behind
fucking
the
chair
door.
in your door like you see on the TV
Old
shows.
school, yeah.
Yeah, like
Right.
fucking,
Yeah, I don't
he
think the
is-
chair's gonna stop this fucking dude.
But think
though,
about
I'm
it. This
telling
dude
you.
is out here. You know he's murdered people already. You know it. He doesn't have any qualms with fucking getting into a fight and just
Not
going
at all.
to town. And he done beat your ass that bad once, and you're his brother.
Right.
Fuck this
and
guy.
your wife had to make him fucking beans and toast
Right.
too.
Like,
At a
fuck you.
minimum.
Like,
at a minimum.
The interview at a minimum, yeah. We don't know what else happened, but fucking like watching the interviews with Colin, you could just tell he was legit just scared of
Oh
him.
God,
like,
yeah.
Fuck that.
And this was, 50 years ago,
Right.
or almost 50 years ago. So yeah, it's just unbelievable. So yeah, extra locks and whatever they could. And there was a woman that he attacks while all this fucking drama is going on. He decides to accost this fucking woman in a bathroom of a pub.
He got interrupted, like bailed.
Yeah, and
Was
she
this-
goes to the cops and tells him about what he looks like, right?
Yeah, they get.
He was
he fucking.
he was trying to stick his fucking fist up her pussy. I don't know if that's the truth, but that's the way it made it sound whenever they were talking.
Oh,
about it.
wow.
They were like that he was like reaching up in between her legs and shit, and, like fucking really being aggressive.
Oh,
That's
wow.
why she freaked out, but she was trying to fucking. She wasn't fucking taking his advances. You know what I'm saying? She
It's a
was
little
about to have some
forward.
Trevor Hardy.
A little
Yeah.
forward there. So Joey, it doesn't take long for Colin's predictions to come true, right?
No, he fucking kills again, and it's a 17-year-old, Sharon Mosa. She was at a work party, never made it home.
Yeah.
So they say that she was waiting on a bus to get back to Manchester,
Right.
And that's where Trevor Hardy found her, and that was the last time anybody saw her alive.
Yeah, I saw an interview with her dad, and he was talking about how she had invited him and the mom to go with her.
Right.
And he's so guilty. I mean, I couldn't even
I would've
imagine
went-
it. He
should've
said he
went
didn't
with-
want to
It
go.
wouldn't have happened. Yeah.
He
yeah.
thought she would have more fun without her parents there. So he's like, no, you go and have fun. And then this fucking happens. It's so fucking awful
Yeah, I could
to hear shit like that. You feel so fucking bad for this poor bastard that's had to live with this, even though obviously it wasn't his fault. But, he thought if I was there, probably wouldn't have happened.
Right.
So the media now is all over this fucking story because, her body is found, in this canal that was close to her home. And the police find her again. She's naked, covered in fucking stab wounds from a screwdriver.
Right.
So like puncture fucking wounds all over her body. And she's strangled with her own pantyhose. So there we go again with that bullshit.
Because it was completely a fucking a murderer of timing and opportunity because he got fucking
Right.
he was trying to break into a business and he got interrupted by the girl. So he just turned on her with the screwdriver he was using to try to pry the door.
Yeah.
And fucking just started stabbing the fuck out of her, grabbed her pantyhose, like no fucking thought to it at all. Just you're gonna die, bitch.
Right. Another documentary I watched referred to it as she was strangled with her own sock. So I guess either way,
Same-
know.
right.
Same difference. She was also found with a nipple bitten off. So, again, with the taunting the police with this fucking MO of the nipple biting. And now the media has dubbed him the Beast of Manchester. So he's got his nickname in infamy. Not a bad nickname, not terribly inventive, but it's all right.
Better
it's
than
all
the
right.
screen door. What is it?
Yeah, screen door intruder. Yeah, for sure. So, Chris, I mean, now the cops are on a fucking manhunt for this motherfucker.
Yeah, they go after him after the second murder. Even though they have this statement from his brother Colin, like, no, I know he did it. You guys need to fucking at least put fucking eyes on him at all times to see what he's doing.
Right.
But because after fucking bragging and shit, and Colin the whole time he felt terrible. He like knew. He's like, I told you guys this was gonna fucking happen. I told you.
Right.
This is my brother is going out here and he's gonna murder somebody else in the same violent manner that he did these. Like,
yeah.
I told you guys.
Yeah, he really genuinely did feel bad about it. Cops fucked it up. But
like, okay, the whole filing of the teeth thing. How can you not tell as a jailer or whatever that this dude goes from a full-on grill to like looking like me when I take my dentures out and shit, dude?
Right.
Like, what the fuck, man?
Yeah, I don't know. I mean, I don't know how that happened.
Like, how do you
I would
not
love to know how
notice?
long of a period of time. Was this like overnight?
Right.
Or was it like
That's a
months?
good question. Was he just like there one night, just like
Going to
using a
town.
fucking goddamn diamond tip
Yeah,
bottle as a
that's fucking
toothbrush?
awful, dude.
Oh man!
Jesus Christ.
Like, how do you not know that? Keep that motherfucker in jail.
Yeah, it's unbelievable. So before they discover her body, we've talked about, that this motherfucker's diving in the ice cold water to fucking mess up the bite mark so it doesn't, look, it can't be traced to him. So this guy's just hardcore. He's also very aware of police investigations, as we've been saying. So unbelievable for that time period, especially. Yeah. So he had to have been a true crime fan, and I wouldn't doubt in his day that he would have been listening to some Murder Metal Mayhem.
Right.
So he would have been cool with us, I think. So they managed to catch him by following his girlfriend. So she applies for some welfare benefits. They follow her to the benefits office. She has an appointment there. And then they knew to follow her from there to where she lived. And then they find Hardy. They sweep in and arrest him. They find him in the attic. And I love this. He asked the police not to hit him. And then he would come down. And the cops were like, you just killed 3 fucking girls and you're fucking crying about us not hitting you.
I also saw something, too, that like when they were asking her if she knew where he was, she kept saying no, but pointing up. Like, no, I don't know where he's at. She
wanted to get the fuck out.
Like, I don't know where he's at. He's up there. He's up there. I don't know where the fuck he's at.
Yeah, I don't know where he is. So they finally fucking get his ass. And so Joey, what happens with Hardy now?
August of 76, they bring him in for both the murders of Wanda Scarla and Sharon Mosoff, and he ends up confessing to both of them, and he also confessed to the first murder of Janet Stewart, which at that time they didn't even know that she was a murdered person, as they hadn't found the body.
Right.
She was just a missing person at the time. So
Right.
he confessed to all three of those. He said she was, like we said, he was thinking that she was somebody else. He said that he was infatuated with somebody. I don't know who he was referring to, but somebody in his mind that he fucking,
Right.
had a thing for. He thought it was her.
Yeah.
Killed her, realized it wasn't.
Awful.
So he was probably pretty pissed off at himself that he fucking had the wrong person, because you know how this
It's
guy
like, because
was.
you're still
yeah.
going to go after the person you want.
Right.
But hey, while you're there, might as well make it, worth the trip kind of thing, right?
Right. And then the third victim, like we were talking about, she was the one, that probably distracted him once he was trying to break into the business.
Right.
And, it's wrong place, wrong time. It's just,
Fucking
man,
awful.
this motherfucker was just so goddamn mean. And
He was.
you cross paths with this guy, the
Yeah.
probability is that something bad would go down.
Without a doubt here. So he's, also about the trophies, as I mentioned.
Yeah.
Got the ring from the first victim, bloody clothes, and the purse from the second victim, Wanda Scarla. And then, we've talked about this before with the mementos and keeping something. So, very, very common. BTK was big on that. I mean, Geen, they're all, done shit like this.
I mean, Dahmer kept the whole body, so.
That's true, too. That's true. And the dick in a mason jar, right?
Yeah.
So, Chris, I saw there was a little bit of drama during the trial here. No big surprise with this
never
dude.
is with these guys. Well, these guys in general. It's just
Right.
like, let's make this whole courtroom thing.
A circus, yeah.
Yeah. But yeah, he pleaded guilty, and then he, after that, at first he pleaded guilty, and then eventually he fired his lawyers.
Right.
And, bad idea, bro. Bad idea.
Gonna do it myself.
Gonna do it myself.
DIY,
Okay.
motherfucker.
I got this shit. But yeah, he went.
Defend it yourself.
Yeah, defend it. Defend it.
Usually not a good fucking outcome.
Yeah, but he tries to enter a plea for manslaughter and shit, and the fucking he's like, the courts are like, wait a second.
He's like, how about you just give me a manslaughter?
Yeah, after he admitted and pled guilty.
Yeah, I was like, oh yeah. Well,
No.
even the one that after he got found, they only had the two, and then he admitted the third.
right.
So like, what the fuck? Like, yeah, manslaughter. Yeah, there you go. They're like, fuck you, dude.
Yeah.
And he got
exactly.
found guilty on all three of the fucking murders. He
Yep.
fucking obviously they always try to claim insanity.
Then,
like, I
then
didn't
he
know
went
what
for
I-
the insanity
I mean,
angle.
in a way, I'm kind of surprised he didn't. If he had that legit piece of fucking bone sticking in his brain,
That's a good point.
I
man.
mean, I could see him getting a temporary insanity because if he's on the booze, fucking, and
Yeah.
that swells and shit, whatever. Like, I could see it.
Yeah, I mean,
But,
it's certainly a reason, but I don't know if it would negate the fact that he knew what he was doing was wrong.
Right.
Because if that's the case, then the insanity
And
thing
it
is
wasn't
out.
just
So
it wasn't just a couple times either. This
It was
dude did
multiple
fucking
times,
numerous
right.
yeah, the
cases,
pickaxe shit. I mean, all of it as a body of work is definitely disturbing.
Right. Definitely not good. But yeah, he ended up getting fucking found guilty. Like, guilty.
Right.
For all three murders. But yeah, they gave him 3 life sentences plus 5 years and shit. And
For
now,
the attack of that woman in the bathroom.
yeah, and now like they gave him life, which in UK there's a difference between life and natural life. At first he wasn't on natural life. He could have got out in like 30 years or whatever. But then one of the fathers of one of the victims was looking at this shit. Is like, wait a minute,
Right.
why is this guy gonna be able to get out at some point
Yeah.
possibly?
So then they
And
changed
they
it.
changed it to
Right.
natural life, to where he like would never get out of prison ever.
Right. Yeah, which is the right thing here. I mean, this guy just doesn't need to be anywhere but fucking prison. I read.
I bet that dude made Trevor Hardy's fucking top of his list.
Oh, you know
Probably.
it.
Oh,
I'm
without
out
a-
when I'm getting out of this motherfucker. I am gonna kill.
Yeah, I'm gonna do some sick shit to you, and your wife's gonna make me fucking beans and
Right.
fucking toast, motherfucker. I read that somehow he maintained his innocence, even though he's already confessed. This guy's fucking out there.
Well, Gacy did that
That's
too. though.
true. That's true. Drew out all the bodies in the
Yeah.
crawl space.
Right, yeah, but I didn't do
Yeah,
it.
I don't know anything about it. I was just running a cemetery without a license, he said. So this guy's just a fucking loser. He's in Wakefield prison, not a good place there in Yorkshire. He was mad that he didn't get all the notoriety that the Yorkshire Ripper did, Peter Sutcliffe, who's definitely going to be one we'll do at some point.
Right.
That's a good one.
Oh yeah.
But yeah, he was fucking pissed. I reminded me of the chessboard killer and Chikatilo, where he was
why'd
gunning for the
you-
Chikatilo record and he
didn't
missed
get
it by
He's
like 6 bodies.
"Motherfucker."
And he's still stuck in Black Dolphin fucking prison. But yeah, so that's we talked with Nico about old chessboard killer.
Did you?
He says
Nice.
he's going to actually get to touch the actual chessboard here coming up.
Oh, that's dope.
Yeah, it's in some museum, he said. So
Nice.
so his last 15 years of his life, he didn't get one fucking visitor. Nobody gave a fuck. Just everybody just wrote him off, man.
Yeah, later. dude.
Probably
Fuck you.
better. So, but now, Joey, I did see there was a case in 71. Did you see anything about that?
Yeah, there was a 17-year-old girl that was murdered. They thought possibly Hardy could have been the guy that did it.
Right.
But then they looked into it like later on in the 2000s once DNA became, prominent.
Right.
It proved that it wasn't him.
Right.
But, it's,
He was suspect
he
for a
probably,
while.
Yeah, he was suspect, fit all the MOs and shit. So, yeah, you're going to fucking
Yeah.
wonder if it's him until it's proven not.
Yeah, and it wouldn't be a shocker to find one day that
No,
there was
no.
another victim or two, because this guy is just a
Yeah.
fucking maniac, man. Just a total maniac. He collapses one day in his cell, dies 2 days later from a heart attack in 2012 there at Wakefield Prison. So he was 67, spent almost his entire life in prison, just remains one of the longest serving inmates. I think Charles Bronson's got that record.
I think so.
But this dude was a close second, and definitely a fucked up individual and worthy of some Murder Metal Mayhem discussion. But guys, anything to add to old Trevor Hardy?
Nah, he's just a real piece of shit.
Yeah, did some awful shit, man. I mean, really did. The men, women didn't matter. Fucking pickaxes and just brutal.
This mean bastard.
Really mean, for sure. So, now I did my research for this one by watching a couple of good documentaries on YouTube, probably the ones you guys saw. The Born to Kill, which is those are always good, and The World's Most Evil Killers, another go-to for me. And I think that's how I initially probably found out about it, was from one of those two. There's not a ton of stuff out there, but there are things if you're interested. I did not look for any podcasts or anything. Chris, did you? I know sometimes you'll dig out some podcasts for the
I
episodes we
can't
do.
remember what it was. I listened to one just to see how it was. It was okay. I can't remember what the fuck it was.
Yeah, some of them I just can't listen to, man. It's just like
Right.
nails on a chalkboard. But there's a lot of great ones out there. I just don't listen to them as much now that I don't drive very much, because that was my big thing. I listened to them when I drove for work,
right.
but I don't do that anymore. So yeah, there is stuff out there if you're interested in Trevor Hardy. Those two documentaries I would strongly suggest at least. Now, next week, as we mentioned, we're going to be taking the week off. It's Halloween, falls on Tuesday. Chris is like, hey, we got
I wasn't even
kids.
thinking when
I wasn't thinking either, because I know my grandkids are probably going to be here to show me their costumes. So
Right, yeah.
I would have felt like shit if I missed it.
Kids, Halloween, bro.
Yeah,
Can
so we decided to take the week off, but have no fear.
Oh no, we've got something fucking dope set
We
up.
got some crazy shit, because Joey and I did the interview on Sunday with Nico Clow, the Vampire of Paris.
Oh my god.
It was fucking crazy, Joey. I mean, it was beyond what we maybe thought it would even be.
Yeah, it was really awesome. It was crazy to talk to somebody who was so open about everything that we talked about, especially with all the taboos and things that we were talking about.
Right.
And that's because this is a guy who had done his time for his crimes.
Right.
And so now he's a free man.
Right.
And he can tell you all about it all he wants because there's no fear of
Can't do nothing about
consequence
it.
of getting in any trouble or nothing. Yeah.
That's right. And he said when we went into that interview, nothing was off limits. So we asked him some interesting questions, Joey. We asked him about the cannibalism. We asked him about the drinking blood, the human blood, the bringing the bags home from the morgue, grave robbing, eating cookies while the guy twitched and died on the floor. We asked him all of it. And you're going to hear it next week as a bonus episode. And just because we like you guys so much, we're releasing it 2 days early. So you're going to get it on Halloween. So
Yeah.
and the YouTube video of that interview Joey and I did will
I'm stoked about that.
also be posted on Halloween. So
Yes, you can like actually see this.
yeah,
these
you
guys-
could see Nico and
upset
Joey
that
and
I wasn't able to join in.
I
but
know you
I'm
had a
happy-
family obligation.
I'm happy that you
Understood.
guys were able to do it, and I haven't, like I said, I haven't even listened to the interview myself yet. I know you sent me the link, but I kind of want to watch it. Like,
Yeah. No, it's really cool. But Joey, you said one of the 666 clubbers got a hold of you about that. What did he have to say?
Yeah, one of our regular listeners who's a close buddy. He's fucking undercover because of fucking
Right.
the government's on him.
Yeah.
And I mean, this is all fucked up shit, but this is all true. Maybe one day we'll talk about it. But anyway, one of my buddies, he is a avid listener to our podcast, and fucking he joined the 666 Club today, and I was telling Pete that it's a good possibility he did that because the people that are in our 666 Club, they can listen to the Nico Clive fucking interview right now
Right.
if they want to.
right,
Yeah.
100%.
Yeah, they got it on Sunday right after we did it. So
Yeah.
yeah, but did he respond back to you, Joey, that he had listened to it?
Oh yeah, no, that's the whole reason he sent me a message. He sent me an email today, and he was like, "The Nico Clive episode was interview was so badass." And
Oh, cool.
I don't remember what all he said, but he was very complimentary. He said it sounded really awesome.
Oh wow,
And
that's great. I'm curious to see if you want to forward that or cut and paste it, send it to me. I'd love to see what he had to say. I did see that Shane had commented on the Facebook page and said he thought it was really great and a really good interview. And he said it was like something like it was up to Murder Metal Mayhem caliber. So gotten a lot of compliments about the interviews. And when I set up to do an interview, I think, what would I want to ask asked if I was on the other side, because I've been on the other side of that. So I don't want to ask a band like, what's your favorite band, like shit like that, your favorite, just the cheesy questions you get all the time, so I like to ask. And this one we definitely pushed, and he was very cool. I mean, he couldn't have been more gracious about it, and was just like, he told it like it was, and it was pretty awesome. So I mean, we enjoyed it. He seemed like he had a good time, and that's what matters. But you're going to get that 50 minutes of that in that bonus episode on Halloween. So we're not going to be around that week, but you're going to have that to chew on. So
and just because I pulled it up, just because we like our fucking listeners and we appreciate you guys, I did pull up the email. Now I'm just gonna call this guy Morgue Mike.
Okay.
Because we hide our friends' names sometimes. Because people have professional jobs and shit.
Right.
And anyway, so I'm gonna call him Morgue Mike, but that's our buddy who signed up 666 Club today. And this was what he told me. He sent me an email earlier. This is right before Pete told me he signed up too. So this is how I knew.
Oh, nice.
At about the same time. But he said, just listen to the Nico interview. Shit was sick. That dude was spot on with the morgue stuff. I knew when I heard he ate meat exactly what he meant. The strips of meat inside are exactly what I would choose if I was to do that. Ha ha.
Wow.
I guess when you get that he said, I guess when you get that fascination with death growing up, it's the same for all of us. Real interesting dude. So thanks, Morgue Mike.
Yeah,
for
dude,
fucking
that's a
checking it out.
good
Morgue
one,
Mike,
man.
that was a good one, dude. Thank you very much. I'm glad I got that out to you. Now that I'm in this semi-retired mode, I can get to things a little quicker. So.
Right?
All right, Joey, any good page of days for us?
I do. Got a couple. Now, real quick before I do the page today, just kind of like a thing about fucking murder. So there was this serial killer from Indiana named Herbert Baumeister.
Yeah.
I know that name.
They had found 8 bodies on his property back in '96. But back then the DNA technology wasn't there, so they weren't able to identify everybody at the time. Anyway, Alan Livingston, he was 27 at the time when he disappeared. But just this week, his family found out that he was one of the ones that was found. The DNA came back.
Really?
So the family finally got closure.
That's good.
They found Alan Livingston. So I just wanted to bring that up.
No,
'cause I thought that was
that's
pretty
good.
Yeah,
That's
Burmeister would be a good one to do someday. Yeah.
Yeah,
That's
for
an
sure.
interesting case.
All right, so page a day. Now I got this is very rare, but I got one from every day this week. They'll go fast because it's really just 2 stories, but so these are both pretty good. So thanks, page a day. Now the first one, we're going to talk about the Black Widow of Richmond. We're going to Adelaide, Australia. So Mick, if you're listening to this, let us know if you know about this case. I'm sure you do.
Right.
Or Rick.
And Rick Ring. Martha Charles grew up poor in Adelaide, Australia in the
Wait, what?
1860s.
Start over.
What? Martha Charles grew up poor in Adelaide, Australia.
I thought you said
in the 1860s.
I thought you said grew out of porn.
So they said that she was often beaten with a stick or a rope by her mother when she was a child, and when she was 13, her stepfather, Daniel Ferran, he sexually assaulted her. She went to work as a domestic servant about that same time, and 5 years later, in 1882, she married a man named Henry Needle. Now, I guess their marriage started out pretty good. They had 3 daughters, Mabel, Elsie, and May, and then they settled down in the Melbourne suburb of Richmond in 1885. Now, it was there that their marriage starts falling apart. Martha, she liked socializing with men. Her husband, Henry, he's introverted, and he get jealous as hell and beat the hell out of her.
Oh, boy.
So by the time the decade was through, Henry and their 3 children, all of them had died from illnesses, and Martha collected a large amount of insurance
I
money.
bet she did.
Oh, boy.
She used most of it to purchase an elaborate family plot, which she visited often. Doctors were baffled by the death of Martha's family until people around her kept dying. So after her family passed, Martha sublet a house attached to a business, and it was owned by the Junkin brothers. Now, they were friends of hers from Adelaide, and in 1893, she starts having an affair with Otto Junkin. Otto's brother, Lewis, ends up dying the following year. They thought that he had succumbed to typhus. When Otto and Lewis's brother, Herman, came to town to settle Lewis's affairs, Herman also became violently ill after eating 2 meals in a row, both served by Martha. The doctor who treated Herman suspected arsenic poisoning and tested a sample of his vomit to prove it. He tells the cops. They arrange for Herman to meet with Martha the next day to have her make him lunch again. And the story goes that Herman literally blew a whistle alerting the police after being served a cup of tea. Now, whenever the police came and they got that teacup, it had enough arsenic to kill 5 people in it.
Oh, Jesus Christ, man.
Damn.
So Martha's charged with attempted murder of the Herman Junkin. Herman Junkin's attempted murder. The bodies of Lewis Junkin and Henry, Mabel, Elsie, and May, her daughters, were exhumed, and they all were found to contain high levels of arsenic. Martha was charged with the murder of Lewis Junkin. She pleaded not guilty, but the jury found her guilty after a 3-day trial. She was sentenced to death. She was hanged from the gallows at Old Melbourne Gaol October 22nd, 1894. Now, she collected insurance money on most of her victims, true, but they don't know if that was really the motives behind it.
She just wanted to do what she wanted to do.
Right. July 10th, 1920, more than 25 years after her death, Her nephew also went to the gallows after poisoning his wife with strychnine.
Wow.
God damn.
When Martha Needle was about to be hung, her last words were, "I have nothing to say."
Okay. There you go.
So that was the case of Martha Martha Needle. So that shit was crazy. So I'm sure Mick's heard that one. So, all right, now this last one, it's a little bit quicker, but this is a good one. This is, I can't remember if we did this guy or not, but this is a survivor story of a serial killer, and this is Lisa McVeigh. So, November 3rd, 1984, 17-year-old Lisa McVeigh, she's riding her bike home from work in Tampa, Florida, when a man abducts her. She's blindfolded, raped, and tortured at gunpoint for 26 hours. She keeps her wits about her. She questions her attacker about his motives, and he mentioned that he had recently had a bad breakup. So she offers to be his secret girlfriend. So she totally plays into this dude. And, she saved her own life, obviously. By touch, she was also able to provide a description of her attacker's haircut, the pockmarks on his face, and his mustache.
Wow.
And she also made sure to leave her fingerprints all over the bathroom when she was in there, for in case something did happen, she could be like, "I was here."
I've heard this story.
Wow.
That was a good one.
Yeah. So McVeigh, she eventually persuades her attacker to let her go. She says that she has a sick parent that needs care, and he takes her to a remote area, leaves her blindfolded, and tells her to wait 5 minutes before removing it. She gets home, and what happens when she gets home? She's beaten and questioned by her guardians for 5 hours about her whereabouts.
Right. Jesus.
She had been enduring physical and sexual abuse at home for years, but her story never changed, so her guardians finally called the cops after all that. In addition to the detailed description of her attacker, McVeigh had remembered the route that she had taken and details about the car. When she was in the car, she was leaned back in the seat, and from under her blindfold, she could see the name of the car she was in,
the
color,
and shit.
and she saw some. I can't remember if she saw the street sign or something like that.
Oh wow!
But she remembered that. So her description led police straight to Bobby Joe Long. Now, Long, he had committed more than 50 rapes, and he was known as the classified ad rapist. He had found most of his victims through the penny saver ads. He killed 10 women in 84, including 2 after he released McVeigh. He was arrested November 16th, and nearly a year later, he pleaded guilty to 26 counts, including multiple counts of first-degree murder, kidnapping, and rape. He received a life sentence for each count, and in 1986, he was sentenced to death for 2 other murders. He was executed May 23rd, 2019. After her abduction, McVeigh was placed with different family members, escaping the abuse she had faced at the home of the Guardians, and she eventually put herself through the police academy, and she now works as a master deputy and school resource officer in Florida, and she teaches middle school children how to handle dangerous situations. So,
Wow.
Bobby Joe Long's execution, she was there with a t-shirt that said, "Long overdue."
Oh, damn.
yeah,
That's fucking brutal.
Yeah, that's a great one.
That was a good one. Page a day. You gotta love it. All right, well, we have done our fair share of murder tonight. I think it's time to crank up that metal. Joey, what the fuck do we need to do?
Let's get our metal
Murder.
on.
Just because CK has passed on, he's not done educating the masses. CK will forever be the great metal motherfucker. We're here to stomp poser ass and eradicate the planet of their kind. CK has passed the torch to us, and we will forge the fuck on. In CK's name, we will bestow metal knowledge upon all of you.
Fuck yeah, man. And this Sunday was the 2-year anniversary of the passing of CK, Chris Kovacs.
Fucking Chris,
October
motherfucking
22nd
Kovacs.
is when it happened. And yeah, it seems like it was just yesterday. I mean, it's unbelievable. But we carry the show on in his honor. I posted on our Facebook group the episode we did, the tribute to CK. So if you want to check that out, if you haven't ever heard that before, you can do that by going to the Facebook group or searching for it on whatever platform you use. But we keep doing this. We take turns And, this is always a thing. I don't even know why it started. I think I just brought a Pop-Tart out one time.
Yeah, I was like, you every now and again, like during the break, just
Yeah,
like come out with some Pop-Tarts. Like, oh, don't bring enough for the fucking class.
Yeah,
huh?
so then I felt bad. So then I bought like a box, and we were just eating them all the time in metal, and it just became a thing. And so we have listeners that send us Pop-Tarts, which is fucking awesome. And
now, first of all, what kind you eating, Joey?
Yeah, Joey.
Well, I'm eating the pumpkin pie one.
Oh, shit!
How is that?
They good?
Yeah, that's good.
I love pumpkin pie, so that
I've been saving the for the frosted banana bread. I got one more of those left because I know y'all got some now too. But you guys are gonna try something a little different tonight.
We got something going tonight.
So we had a listener.
Yeah, we had a listener, Tommy. Send us some Pop-Tarts, but at the same time, send us something new. It's still a toaster pastry,
Right.
but Pete, what the fuck is the name of these, dude?
Ghetto Gastro. This is a real company.
From the
Toaster
Bronx.
pastries from the Bronx, so from my old stomping grounds. And this is PB&J.
Yeah.
And they come in single packs, so
Right,
they're
it's
not
not like
double.
the Pop-Tart where you got two of them. There's one. But
So
like,
me and Chris are going to try these live. I mean, we've eaten some fucked up shit, Chris. Vegemite. We've done some crazy things here, but this isn't that bad. I think this is going to be good, but I'm curious. So
me too. I'm gonna
why don't
check
you
this
take a
out.
bite? Let's find out.
It's actually kind of fire, dude.
That's really good.
Like, holy shit.
Is it?
Oh,
Yeah.
yeah. It's really fucking good, dude.
I like the pastry a lot.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's...
Now I'm gonna have to go try to find them.
Yeah, they sell them at
Dude,
Target.
what'd you do? I hear the sirens.
Right?
They sell
419.
them at Target. So if you live near a
Holy
Target,
shit, these are
go
really
check it
fucking
out.
good.
Ghetto Gastro. They come in different flavors, but these PB&J ones are fucking awesome. So I'm digging it.
Thanks,
So,
Tommy.
Yeah, thank you, Tommy. All right, Joey. Well, you got the horns this week, buddy, and love the decision you made. It's always interesting to see which bands we'll all come up with. So who are you doing tonight?
As I said earlier, I am doing D.R.I, or the Dirty Rotten Imbeciles from Houston, Texas. This is a huge band on influence on me. Like, if I was to say Goremonger's biggest influence is D.R.I, would definitely have to be up there with them. Anyhow, so these guys, they formed in 1982. Now, when they first formed, they were U.S. D.R.I, but they only stayed that way through their shows for that year. Then they just turned it to D.R.I, Dirty Rotten Imbeciles. They are considered by many to be the fathers of crossover thrash,
Right.
along with bands like Suicidal Tendencies, SOD, and Excel. They say that they didn't invent or they didn't coin the term, but rather it was just what their fans started to refer to them as, since their genre crossed over, because D.R.I. basically started out as a punk band and then ended up also being taken in by the thrash and metal communities. So the crossover,
Hence crossover, yeah.
hence the crossover, yep. So they started off with Kurt Brett on vocals and his brother Eric on drums, bassist Dennis Johnson, and then guitarist Spike Cassidy, who remained through the duration of D.R.I. Him and Kurt both did. So, now supposedly, and I'm sure this is true, but they named themselves D.R.I. after a frequent insult from the Breck's father, who absolutely hated whenever they would rehearse at their home. They hated their band.
We're all a bunch
He
of...
said, "You guys are dirty, rotten imbeciles." Yeah.
Like, yes,
so that's
perfect,
how
thank
they,
you.
yeah. They're like, "Thank you." So they put out a self-titled demo in 1983, and then it was followed by the Dirty Rotten EP in 1983 as well. Now, the track No Sense on the Dirty Rotten EP has what is considered to be one of the first blast beats ever in metal on it.
Really?
So that's pretty cool.
No shit.
Then in 1984, they put out another EP called Violent Pacification, which is just badass. It's got a song called Couch Slouch, which was later re-recorded, but it was also used on a soundtrack for Tony Hawk's American Wasteland, if our listeners played that game. 1985's the first full length, and it was called Dealing With It. Kurt Brett and Spike Cassidy were the only ones that were still in the band, and they had a revolving door of musicians from here on out, so basically I'll just stay talking about them too.
Right.
And as a matter of fact, unfortunately, I think they had 2 or 3 members that are RIP now, so rough to be in that band. Now, they have a song on Dealing With It that's called Madman, and the beginning of it has a sample of Kurt Brett and his father arguing during one of their rehearsals. They actually just hit record while they were bitching at each other.
That's
and
awesome.
That's the intro to that song, yeah. I thought that was badass. It's funny, too, because Madman, so that's obviously what they refer to as his dad, but if you look in their first album, it says, thanks to Madman, Mad Lady, so probably his mom and dad is who he's referring to.
That's funny.
I gotta be.
So, 1987, they released their second album called Crossover on Death Records, Restless Records. It was a co-release by both those labels. Crossover was, that album was just badass. It went from them being punk into a straight metal zone. Like, it was quite a metamorphosis, and they did get some hatred from the hardcore and punk community for what they did.
I'm sure.
But if you look at all the people that took their band in after that probably wouldn't have, you got to say they made the right decision. Plus, they helped reform a subgenre. So
Yeah, what year did you say that came out, Joey?
1987. That was
Okay,
Crossover.
I wanted to make a note of what you're talking about. I lived on the East Coast at that time. I was in a band at that time. I distinctly remember playing a show in New Rochelle, New York, in front of a crowd. It was the first time I'd ever seen at a metal show anybody moshing and diving and shit like that. And I was like, what are they fucking doing? That's a hardcore thing.
Right.
And at that time, I didn't have an issue with these dudes listening to hardcore, but there were people, it was like fights.
Right.
If the metal guys showed up at a hardcore show or vice versa, like there was like bad blood there. So this would have been at a time when that would have been at like fever pitch. So that makes this even that much more interesting. So that's cool, dude.
By the way, quick, after the Ghetto Gastro dug into the frosted banana, these are fucking dope too. God damn.
Yeah, those are awesome.
I gotta say though, that Ghetto Gastro I gotta say I like them better than a Pop-Tart. Just because the pastry I really, really liked, and the flavor of the 666%. Thank you, Tommy, for sending those to us. That's fucking awesome, man.
Anyway, as you were saying, Joey, sorry to get off track.
Oh, we're good. So we're still in 1987 with Crossover now. At that point, whenever they put out Crossover, D.R.I. had relocated to the L.A. area because especially like back then, if you were a band or in movies or anything like that, you wanted to be out in L.A. because that's where you were going to make it. So they had moved out there, so they were becoming part of that scene. 1988 comes around and they released their third full length, Four of a Kind. Now this one came out on Metal Blade Records, so they had been picked up by Brian Slagle by that point, and he was putting out their shit. 1989 is their fourth full length. Now this is one of my favorites. This is Thrash Zone.
Thrash Zone, that's the one.
Yeah.
Yep. So you had D.R.I. coming out with punk, hardcore-ish stuff. They put out the Crossover album, which was like metamorphosis into the metal era. Now Thrash Zone, 100% just fucking killer thrash album, like fucking anthems, fucking nonstop on that. The song that I use for the bumper music, Beneath the Wheel, is actually on this album, the second song on that one. You'll hear that here in a little bit. 1992, they released their fifth full length, which was called Definition. Now, this time, they put this album out on Rotten Records, which was co-founded by vocalist Spike Cassidy. Rotten Records actually is still a thing, and it would later release some pretty badass bands. They put out the Acid Bath stuff, Excel. They put out Goat Whore albums, Nasty Savage, Phlegm, Salt the Wound, and Vampire Moose from St. Louis. I believe that's where they're from.
God damn.
So, That's pretty cool.
Yeah.
95, they released their sixth and last full length called Full Speed Ahead. Now, that was their last full length, but they have remained active ever since. They play fests and they do play shows. There was a hiatus between 2006 2009 when Spike Cassidy was diagnosed with cancer. So after he was going through recovery with that, he did get back into the music, but he was on a hiatus. They did release an EP, mostly of re-recordings of songs in 2016, called But Wait, There's More, and that was released on Beer City Records. So that's pretty much all I've got on D.R.I, but like I said, they're a fucking huge influence on me. They changed the face of the way music was. Like Pete said, it was at a time when people weren't too keen on it, but it was a thing that was happening. So they were at the forefront.
They definitely
so
were.
Some D.R.I.
Fuck yeah, man! Great segment on that. Awesome, Chris. What about that lost classic for us, man?
I am going to 2001. Check out Festival of Death by fucking Brodequin. Check that shit out, dude.
Brutal.
Fucking brutal ass death metal. Fucking
Definitely.
bad ass shit.
Definitely, for sure. That's a good lost classic. All right, what have we been listening to lately, Chris? You been doing anything? I know you're a very eclectic kind of listener, but nothing you wanted to mention
not
specific?
Not in Pacific. Nothing in specific right now. When I'm at work, I usually listen to different podcasts and shit.
Right.
And then when I'm at home, there's just people playing music.
Right. What about you, Joey?
I've been listening to a lot of 50 Ways to Kill Me, which is like basically a MySpace band that I fucking loved. One man, and he would just like get ideas on how to kill himself from people, like be like, oh, write a song about this or whatever. But he's just, to me, he was very unique, and I always loved him fucking growing up. Whenever I first started Goremonger, and I just was listening to it again.
Right.
I was also listening to a new album just fucking dropped from the band Afterbirth from New York, called In But Not Of, and that album is fucking dope. So fucking good. Technical death metal, fucking brutal as shit.
Wow.
So
I'll have to check that out.
Afterbirth, yeah, go listen to that. And then something else that's kind of like new and on the forefront, but Jeremy Wagner of Broken Hope, he had created a project during a Broken Hope hiatus in 2002 called Earthburner, and he has since resurrected that project, and I'm pretty positive they said the whole album is recorded, so that's going to come out. But he actually has Mike Mitzak on drums, who was in Broken Hope. He's got bassist Tyler Affinito, and then for vocalist, he got Devin Swank, who's the vocalist for Sanguisugabog.
Nice.
And he got their honorary backup vocalist is Mitch Harris, which is, of course, the guitarist of Napalm Death. So that's pretty cool. So everybody fucking keep an eye out for that, Earthburner. And that's pretty much what I've been listening to.
Fuck yeah. What was that first one you mentioned again, Joey? I was going to put it in my phone. Afterbirth?
Afterbirth.
Yeah.
In But Not Of.
Okay. Yeah, I just want to make sure. Yeah. All right. I got that one and that Brodequin Chris was just talking about. I definitely didn't want to miss those. So, fuck yeah, that's awesome.
I would... That Afterbirth came out on Willowtip Records, which that's a really good label, and probably, from what I've heard, probably going to be one of my top albums of the year.
Oh, nice. I've been listening to Infestation, the German band, really good death metal, thrash death. Godslut, which Shane's got me going on them. They've got only one album called Procreation of God. It's fucking brutal. They got a video for one of the songs. I posted it in the Facebook group. But those guys are badass. 3-piece from Poland. And then Overthrow, another death metal band. They're from the UK, old school, called Ascension of the Entombed. It's fucking sick. Very, very US death metal sounding. But brutal, kind of a little bolt thrower in there. Doesn't surprise me being from the UK. So really good shit coming out, man. It's like, it's hard to keep up with it. You know, there's so many good bands and all that. So I don't know. Did anybody come up with any politically correct death metal? I did not this week.
I got 3 for you.
Oh, great.
I I don't know if I do this game right, but I try. So the ones I came up with are sometimes I feel like I make it worse. I don't know.
Sometimes they do. That's what makes it
Yeah.
funny. You're trying to walk around the words,
But then you get
it
something.
means the same thing, and sometimes,
Yeah.
like you said, it sounds worse.
All right, so I came up with 3 suicidal tendencies, a heightened probability to unalive oneself,
That rhyme.
Okay, I like that.
going to fucking Rockford, cheap trick, inexpensive sex professional.
Yes. Yes.
I like that. Yeah, that's funny.
And then
That'd be a
the
cool
last one
album title.
Hell yeah. And the last one I came up with from Texas, I'm going to go with the Ghetto Boys, and I'm saying he hims in unfortunate living areas.
Awesome, dude. Yeah, it's fun. I just think it's kind of goofy, but I'm trying to see if it catches any fire. It can't be as good as Killer Cage Match. Those
Dude,
are just too good.
Ghetto Boys is good though. I
Ghetto
like
Boys,
that one.
yeah, that's funny. Now I got the horns next, and I'm going to be doing that Polish technical death metal band I just mentioned, Godslut. Shane and I are doing an interview with the bass player and guitar player.
Okay.
This Saturday. So it'll be Saturday night there, but we're doing it at noon. And I'll play a clip of that when we do that metal feature, which of course will be the week after next, since we're off next week. So the next full episode we do, you'll get that. So that'll be cool. And we'll release the whole thing as a bonus like we always do. And I'll do video as well. I'm getting very close to launching 666 seconds of metal on the YouTube channel. We got the great logo that Joey did. I got an intro and outro set up, and I'm getting ready to try to do some filming of some things that I want to use. Thinking about doing a tour of Horns High. I haven't done one in a while. Another tour of Horns High is the first one, to kind of show people what this place looks like and all the cool
There's
shit.
been some things added to it.
Yeah, we've got new stuff since I did it the last time. So I think that might be the first one. So it's going to be a lot of fun. So if you're a YouTube user, go on there, subscribe, and you'll get all this shit, because we're going to be posting multiple videos a week. And I'm also going to be doing 666 seconds of murder, which will be the same type of format, but about the upcoming episodes and what's going on, and maybe some, updates on the Idaho 4 or different cases going on. So be true crime only on that. So if you're a band and you want to get our attention, you can email me, Pete at murdermetalmayhem.com. If you want to do it old school and send it in, Murder Metal Mayhem, P.O. Box 554, Hayworth, Illinois 61745. All right, Joey, what's the latest with you and Goremonger and the distro?
Distro, hit me up if you want CDs. That's all I got right now. I got to get new fucking shirts, and actually I'm in talks with Murder Machine Clothing to get other shit pressed. But with Goremonger, the newest thing I would say, October 27th, which is this Friday, 2023, depending on when you listen to this podcast. But I'm playing a show down in Dayton, Ohio. It's the pre-show for the Extreme Annihilation Fest or something.
Or something.
Yeah. But I'm playing the pre-show, which is Friday, and that's going to be a good time. Come down, see me and Butt Chug and Jesse and fucking my boys. Soak Corpses leaking rectal discharge from Orlando, Florida. They're going to be playing. So, Dayton, Ohio, Goremonger show. That's my
Joey, there's your next politically correct death metal.
Yeah, do that.
Yeah, that would be a good
Do
one.
that.
That'd be a good one. All right, well, I think we've done plenty of metal tonight. So, Chris, what the fuck do we need to do?
Let's get our mayhem on, motherfuckers.
Don't be late. First one out of the start.
Do you find yourself getting pissed at shit for no goddamn motherfucking reason? Do you ever want to just kill a bitch?
God damn it, you fucking bitch.
Here at Benoit Anger Management, we can help you out when you're about ready to fucking snap. Let one of our life coaches help you through that shit, motherfucker.
I told you to shut the fuck up.
Call us at 800-GOT-RAGE, and we'll talk you down off that ledge and teach you how to get that shit in control before you kill everybody in your fucking family. Benoit Anger Management can fucking help.
Shut the fuck up.
Jesus
Oh my
Christ.
God, that was so fucked up.
The Benoit
Wow.
Anger Management.
The original Benoit
Yeah.
Anger Management. 2019, Chris killing it as the narrator. And my son Joe doing the caller there. So proud of him to be able to pull
Yeah,
off.
that was so good.
But,
I
you know,
remember doing that too. He's like, I just can't let my wife hear me doing that.
Right? Yeah, I know. That was so fucked up. So some awful shit, but that's the way we are here. So if you can't hang with that, you probably need to go somewhere else. And you can hear that one and many others like it. We've been talking about this. Our brand new album coming out, Hysterical, Distasteful, and Stupid, Volume 1, because we know there's going to be more than one.
Be more.
38 of the first commercials we've done, plus a little pregame show, which we actually recorded tonight, to talk about how much fun those are to do and all that. And that's coming on our Bandcamp page. And also, we'll sell it on our website, and you can get it that way. 666 Club members, you get it for free. So we want to say thank you to them.
Yeah, thank you much.
But everybody else, we'll keep the price low. Haven't figured that part of it out yet, but that'll be coming here very soon. And before that, D.R.I, Joey picked the song Beneath the Wheels. So
Fuck
that
yeah,
was
Joey.
fucking sick.
D.R.I, good fucking choice though, dude.
Yeah, definitely
For real.
a good one to do. So, all right, we don't have any mayhem for you. I was 3 weeks in a row telling some tales, but
Sorry, I've been slacking, dude.
that's all right. I mean, we don't always have to tell a story of mayhem. When we have them, they're definitely worth listening to. Now, I got a book signing coming up at the local authors fair at the Peoria Public Library. That's the North Branch on Saturday, November 4th from 1 to 4. So come check it out. They usually have several authors there. Sue Rovens is usually there, but will not be this time. She's got another event she's doing. So she's been real busy. But yeah, all my events are at PeteAltieri.com. Link to that in the episode description. All right, so now we got our killer cage match to get to tonight, guys. And that's where we get a list of 100 killers, 100 objects for them to fight with, a variable in the cage, and a song playing while they kill each other. And our listeners help us out
All
to
the
pick
time.
what happens here tonight, Chris.
So
Who do we
tonight,
want to thank?
Once again, we got Elliot Alexander. Thank you very fucking much.
Hell
We
yeah.
got fucking Ray Big Mac Daddy McFalls. I'm gonna throw the big in there on my
All
own.
right, it's
What up,
worthy.
dude?
It's worthy.
And then we got our fucking friend and other author, fucking Sue Rovens out
Hell
there.
yeah,
fucking
Sue
throwing down.
Rovens.
So thank you for the numbers, y'all.
Yeah.
Appreciate it much.
Appreciate it. And Joey, we got a nice matchup tonight, a kind of a different one. Who's fighting tonight?
Zodiac's going to be fighting the gangster Babyface Nelson.
Oh, wow. That guy had a little bit of a temper problem, so that should be interesting. And the objects, Chris, does Babyface get his Gatlin gun?
Definitely not.
No, Tommy gun or whatever he used?
Definitely not. These are one of them super weird. But tonight we got them fighting with a fucking ice pick, which
Yeah.
is lethal,
That could get gnarly.
and a frozen fucking pizza. Now this is a Tombstone, a Jack's, a Red Baron.
I'm gonna say like a tombstone, a little heavier than a Jack's, but not much.
All right, cool. But yeah, ice pick and a fucking frozen pizza. What the fuck?
And the variable, Joey. This is very fitting.
Nico Claw, and that's after he smoked weed in the 419 with me all day long.
That's a lot of fucking weed,
damn.
bro.
I don't know if Nico really likes weed.
Yeah,
I
did
don't
y'all-
know
did
either,
y'all
but
ask him?
Joey, what a trip would that be if he came to the States and you were hanging out in the 419 with Nico? I mean, would that just be like too much, man?
He'd be like, bitch, I drank blood.
Yeah, I don't know if he would be into that or not, but yeah, you could certainly ask him. We know we can ask the man anything.
Gotta
and it's fine.
go see Sugar Babe.
And the song playing while this all is going on is "Girls Just Want to Have Fun" by Cyndi Lauper.
Oh,
What
man,
the fuck?
that's fucking weird.
So we got the Zodiac fighting Babyface Nelson in a steel cage with an ice pick and a frozen Tombstone pizza. We'll put the works on it, okay? The variable Nico Clo after smoking weed with Joey all day in the 419, and Cyndi Lauper and her Girls Just Want to Have Fun song.
Hell yeah.
So, Chris, where the fuck do we start with
I'm gonna make
one?
this one simple. I got it already. Fucking. So Babyface and fucking goddamn Zodiac, they in the fucking cage. They're looking at what they have to fight with. Fucking goddamn Zodiac, he's looking at this frozen pizza like, what the fuck is this thing? I don't even know what this is.
Yeah, that's true. It was before his
what
time.
The fuck? He's in awe. Like, what is going on? Meanwhile, Babyface, he's supposed to be in a fight with this motherfucker. He sees that ice pick and he does that gangster shit. He just shoves it in the back of the fucking spine right at the base of the neck and shit. He's like done, got him down. Meanwhile, fucking Joey and fucking Nico are over there. They're in the fucking corner just watching this shit. Like, Nico's like, man, I wish I could have stabbed that motherfucker. That's fucked up. But meanwhile, he's sitting
maybe
there
give
fucking,
Nico a little bit of fucking the blood coming out, right?
Right. So like fucking, like I said, fucking Zodiac's fucking bleeding out. Like I said, and fucking
And that would be like an honor
Babyface-
for Nico to have Zodiac's
Babyface
blood. I
is
mean,
like,
that's kinda cool.
oh yeah, definitely. He's like, that makes me a god. No, I'm not talking shit, Nico. Just making stories, bro. Just making stories.
Right.
But yeah. So the blood's leaking out, and like you said, Nico's like, I need something to fucking chase this fucking pizza down because I figured out how to cook this because I'm from 21st century. I could do this. Got that pizza cooking on the pizzazz and shit. Meanwhile, Babyface, Cashman's just back there loading up bowls, dude. He's like, we go smoke. We go smoke. Fucking Nico's got a pizza going. He's got that knife waiting to fucking cut the shit out of the pizza. Meanwhile, Babyface is like, how do I turn this song off, dude? This fucking song is not stopping, and I don't give a shit about these fucking bitches.
He's gonna
And
rage
he
the
just
fuck
fucking,
out, man.
He's still got the ice pick. He just fucking jabs it into his own temple, drops himself. Fucking Nico and Cashman with the pizza, smoking weed for the win.
Wow. Okay, Joey, what's your take on the Killer Cage match tonight?
Well, Nico Clow, he's not I feel like he would not want to come to the 419 and smoke weed with me. I don't know if I'm right about that. He can let us know if he hears this. But I feel like the only reason that I got him to smoke the weed is because I had it made into some edibles that also contain human blood
God
in them.
damn it, Flash.
Okay.
I love you,
So
bro.
that's why he ended up taking them.
All right.
Now the fight started. Babyface Nelson, he ain't giving a fuck about those things in the ring. He's just gonna fucking throw some hands. He's got his dukes up ready to fucking box a motherfucker out. Zodiac keeps fucking disappearing and appearing and fucking just like Scorpion and shit in Mortal Kombat. And like, where the fuck is this motherfucker? We don't even know who this dude is.
Is he even here? Like, what's up? Right?
Yeah, so Babyface Nelson, he's ready to fucking rumble. Zodiac, he's fucking just flying around fucking doing weird ass shit
I'm
because
a
nobody
ghost.
can figure it out. Fucking Nico, he looks over at me over there in the fucking crowd where I'm loading up the bowls, and he gives me that fucking evil eye, and I know he does not want to hear the Cyndi Lauper shit anymore. He wants me to change the song inside of this fucking, in the side of this arena.
And the horns
because
high
he
stereo.
Yeah, he's not ready to see any death with goddamn Cyndi Lauper, and he fucking lets me know that I need to play some Carcass. So Carcass is now playing on our fucking sound system.
shit.
Fuck yeah.
Babyface Nelson hears this and gets charged up, and he's like, man, now I just want to fucking party. I see a pizza there. Hey, let's fucking eat this thing. Hey!
Bye.
Zodiac's so confused. He's fucking, okay, well, I guess I'll sit here and eat this pizza with you then. We'll gnaw on this frozen motherfucker together and at least get a feast. Nico, he's like, this is what I've been waiting for the whole time. I got high so that I could fucking super focus on this situation. Walks up, grabs that fucking ice pick, and just starts stabbing the fuck out of both of them. He takes the fucking half a piece of pizza, or the half of fucking pizza that's not eaten, and he fucking lets Zodiac's blood drip all over that motherfucker, because he's gonna take that to find the fucking, who the Zodiac is, and become the person who unmasks the Zodiac. Nico really wins this one.
Nice.
I like it.
I'm telling you, I want to add my hat to the ring here. I'm saying that Zodiac, he thinks he's fucking smart. He's trying to out fucking smart everybody. He leaves a cipher behind when he's doing his fucking going away and coming back. And he thinks it's funny because he thinks Babyface Nelson's going to just be totally confused.
Like, what the fuck is this?
I'm going to say Babyface Nelson is like fucking Rain Man with that shit. He just fucking nails it.
He's like, I know who it is.
He's like the guy, that can just, see what the magician is doing.
Right.
And Zodiac is totally losing it. So his head and everybody's head in the fucking cage explodes other than Babyface Nelson.
Oh,
There
shit.
you go.
Because
I
it's
like that.
Wayne's World, where Joey and Nico and fucking Babe and Zodiac are like with Wayne's World with Alice Cooper talking.
Yeah.
They're just totally amazed, and it gets to
It's
the
like,
point because he's figuring out all these ciphers and shit that their heads collectively explode.
It's like
Babyface in a shower of blood wins the Killer Cage match.
Oh, damn.
That's what I'm going with.
I like that.
Sorry that
I like
Nico
it
and
too.
Joey had to go, but
I like
it's just
it
the
too,
story.
dude. It's nice to hear you fucking
Yeah,
throw
I
in.
don't normally get in on them, because I don't want to overdo it. You guys do such a good job with that. So, all right, well, there's a little bonus, and I love doing that. And the Killer Cage match is a very fun part of the show, and a lot of the listeners like it. Creation of Chaos 4 is out, still selling steady. Thank you, those that have been buying it. PeteAltieri.com is the website. I'll link to it in the episode description. Got a sale going on in the web store, so what perfect thing to buy for that horror fan on your list than some books
Gotta
to
get
scare
some
the
fucking
fuck out
good-ass
of them.
books.
So I got them on there. Novels as well as short story collections. Doing some cross promotion with Sick Rick. When you buy one of his Anton LaVey masks, you get a free audio version of my short story, One Night with the Blood Countess. It's from Creation of Chaos 4. So sickrickmasks.com. I'll link to that as well, so you can get
Even if
mask.
even if you don't get the fucking LaVey mask,
Get
just
any of
get
them.
any mask.
Of course,
dude.
any
You don't
of
have
them.
to get it just because you want the fucking story.
Did you
Just
see
grab a
the
fucking
zombie
mask.
pogo that he did?
Yeah, that was sweet.
Yeah, he did a
Nah,
zombie
no.
pogo, so he
And I
could
see
do any
pretty
of
much
them in
everything he
zombie.
puts up. Yeah.
Yeah, it was today he posted that. So, been mentioning that YouTube channel, guys. Go check it out. And, of course, our Patreon, which is patreon.com/murdermetalmayhem. You can do it $3 a month, or you can go to our website. There's an option to join the club, and you save 25% if you just do an annual one lump sum. So,
And if you sign up right now, you can go hear the Nico Chloe
yeah,
fucking interview.
you're not
that we
waiting
did.
until Halloween like
Hey, look,
everybody else.
And
you
all
know?
y'all listen, just so you know, I did get sent the link, even though I wasn't a part of it, but I still haven't listened to it. So if you listened to it before me, go get it, dude.
Yeah, no, it's cool to be able to do that. So that's one of the perks. All right, well, we have done plenty of mayhem tonight, guys. So let's hit that fucking outro.
Corrupting your own commandments and dogmas, making a living under millennial propaganda, depraving a music for what? Denying standing thousands of times, making the way to the road against the grave.
Fuck yeah, man. God Slut and the song Against. Those guys are wicked,
Such a
man.
Fucking awesome band name, too.
It is. And they're brutal as fuck. 3-piece from Poland. Shane was the one that turned me on to these guys. Fucking killer album. Just came out in May, I think, called Procreation of God. Absolutely wicked. And we're going to be interviewing them on Saturday. That's going to be a lot of fun. So, fuck yeah. Some good shit they were trying to turn you on to. Bumper music tonight, Joey. Who did we play?
God Slut you just heard. We also played Propane, and then for the metal segment we did D.R.I.
Fuck yeah, man. Very cool. And the metal segment intro, Chris.
Always the great metal motherfucker by Crysis in tribute to CK.
That's
so
right.
Yeah.
That's right.
Because he was the great metal motherfucker.
Yeah, and it's fitting he's here in the studio every time we're here, throwing up the horns in the corner.
I just want to fucking bring up, too, because it made me think of it with Crysis, because we've seen him at Voltaire and stuff. But,
yeah.
One of our buddies from out in Arizona, he's like a father figure.
Oh,
almost,
yes,
you know?
I know what. Yep, all right.
Yeah, but Chris, you met him before.
Yeah, Falconberry.
Yep, Darren Falconberry. He was just a really awesome dude. He was a huge supporter of the metal scene. He would go out to fests all over to Europe and everywhere, and he would take his daughter Jess with him, and he brought her up in the metal scene, and it was just really cool to see that. And he was always there to pick someone up if they fell in the pit,
dude, always
or something
there.
like
he
that.
He was a beast.
Yeah, and I just hold on one sec. Sorry, I was a little bit backed up on this, but
no, you're good, dude. No, this is a good shout out.
Yeah, Darren. I just wanted to. He wrote a last post that his daughter ended up getting, and she posted it on his personal page after he passed away. So I don't know what the deal was. He obviously knew that he had some kind of medical issue that was imminent, and he foresaw something happening.
Right.
But this was one of the coolest things I ever saw. He said, to my friends, if I'd been in the pit with you, swung hammers, humped materials, drank with you, did a shot with you, shook your hand, hugged you, kissed you, said I loved you, dined with you, anything, please know that it meant everything in the world to me. Other than my children, I love everyone I have ever had the pleasure to travel with and meet, pretty much mosh with, and most of all, just talk with. What a fucking life. I love you all. So that was Darren's last post.
Oh, my God, dude. No,
so I just wanted to shout him out because he was a huge supporter of Goremonger and the metal scene in general. And
dude, he was I seen him all the time. Every FTA I've been to, obviously he was there. Fucking, he was a badass metal motherfucker, dude.
That's
and
cool.
his daughter and her fiance, who's also equally in the metal scene, they said that they're taking all the money that he left to have a celebration of life for him and to support the metal scene, and that they would definitely continue traveling and supporting in that way. So that's really cool.
That is cool.
And like I said, he was a big deal at Voltaire, so I know this next year, whenever we go, it's going to be different. This last year, when I did my last Goremonger shirts, I put a pre-order up for anybody who wanted big sizes, because you know how it is, like, man, you got to pay for that shit, unfortunately, because they're expensive. So he wanted, a couple big shirts, and I was like, man, I can bring them to you at Voltaire. And this year, now our campground changed, Gore Camp, and his did too. So for the whole time, I never ran into him, and I couldn't figure it out because I always see him. And I'm like, man, I got these shirts for him, and I had some CDs and some other stuff. And finally, the last day, the Saturday, I said, man, I got to go find him. And I threw that shit in my backpack, and I found him, and he was over by the fucking the smaller stage area set up. Yeah, and he had been in a bad car accident, and it had really fucked him up, obviously, and I think the complications came from that, but he still came out to Voltaire and fucking roughed it in the woods, even in that state, and I'm very grateful that I did finally get to see him and got a chance to say hi one last time,
that's cool.
R.I.P. Darren Falconberry. I know that was a little bit, out of the way.
No, it's all good. No, you got to fucking put love out for these people, man.
No, I think it's worthy, obviously. The Murder Metal Mayhem intro music is Crawl Space by Low 12. I had a couple listeners this last week ask me what album that's on. It's on Flesh of the Week, which I don't believe is streaming, so that's why maybe you're not finding it there. But I know there's a video a fan-made video for Crawl Space that uses the music from the album. So it's out there on YouTube if you want to watch the video. I actually just watched it today, stumbled upon it. So yeah, thanks for asking. Many of you, we appreciate all of you listening, and we want to read some comments here, some good ones. So Chris, how about that first one?
First of all, we got Pimple Pooper. Yeah. Pimple Poker 6.
Pickle eater.
The pickle Yeah, but we got Pimple Poker 6 says, I just heard about you this summer when I was back home on break from school. I'm a student at the University of Connecticut and studying criminology. I wrote a paper about Robert Verdella and found your podcast. I learned a lot and laughed my ass off. I'm a fan now and listening to a bunch of your content. Right on. Well, we appreciate you.
Pimple Poker. Yeah, that's awesome,
Probably
dude.
my fucking daughter. She likes to exfoliate my face sometimes.
Oh, God.
I'm just kidding.
Joey, how about that second one?
Regina Goldbaby said, hey, love Murder Metal Mayhem. I'm a listener in Portland since 2020. You guys are great. I can't wait to hear you do the Lori Vallow Daybell case sometime. I'm sure we're going to do that. And are you Portland West Coast or East Coast?
Yeah,
Maine
I don't know.
Or Oregon?
That's right. And yeah, we'll definitely do Lori Vallow Daybell. I think we talked about doing her in May, the whole mom
the mother's
thing.
thing. Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
So that would be a good one for May. So that's when we'll probably do it, Regina. Don Harwick comments, horns high from Green Bay, Wisconsin. I love this one. I'm a cheesehead, but dig you guys from Illinois. Love the podcast so much. You guys are one of the best out there that mixes facts with funny. I thought that was cool. You guys are original with all the things that make this podcast what it is. So thanks, Don. That's very
Don,
nice.
you the shit.
Cheesehead and all, man. That's fucking cool.
Hey,
Go Bears!
Remember I sent you that shit about that dude that played for the Packers for 1 second? And
Oh,
then went
that's
and killed
right.
some people?
Oh,
That's
yeah.
Yeah, that'd be a good one.
So we might have to do that if the
Bonus
Green Bay dude
episode.
likes our podcast.
That's right. That's right. And then, Chris, how about that last one?
The last one we got is Freddy Kills Jason 666. Says, just listen to the Nico Clo episode. That's some fucked up shit. You guys should try and get him to talk on the podcast sometime.
Well, that's interesting that you asked that.
Well, we got
Freddy
that in it.
Kills
Well,
Jason.
yeah, we as a team have the interview. Sorry, I wasn't there.
Yeah, well, we got that. Yeah, and you're going to hear it on Halloween for a bonus episode next week. So you want to make sure you're listening to that because it's well worth its weight in gold. And the 666 Club members already have heard it. So, and there'll be a video of it also on the YouTube channel. Pick up a copy of one of my books. I got Creation of Chaos 4. I got them all on the website, PeteAltieri.com, MurderMetalMayhem.com. We got a web store there with some shirts, some stickers, the activity book, all that stuff. So go there, check it out. And then, Joey, your distro, I know you said you got CDs, right?
Yep, I got all the Goremonger mostly all my full lengths. I got a bunch of Goremonger shit. If you are interested in what I'm doing and you collect physical copies, hit me up.
Yeah, and I'll link to Joey's distro or Joey's Facebook in the episode description. You can like us on Facebook. We got a group there. Follow us on Twitter or subscribe to the YouTube channel. You can go to patreon.com/murdermetalmayhem to support the show, $3 a month, or do it on the website, as I mentioned, save 25%. But we can't let him go without hearing a karaoke song, a little blast from the past, so crank it up. And until next time, keep one foot in the gutter.
And keep your bloody fist right on point.
There I was completely wasting, out of work and down. All inside it's so frustrating as I drift from town to town. Feel as though nobody cares if I live or die. So I might as well begin to put some action in my life. Fuck yeah! Breaking the law, breaking the law. 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 So much for the golden future, I can't even start. I've had every promise broken. There's anger in my heart. You don't know what it's like. You don't have a fucking clue. If you did, you'd find yourself doing the same things too. Yeah! Breaking the law, breaking the law. 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 You don't know what it's like. Breaking the law, breaking the law. 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 Breaking the law, breaking the law.
Mother, man.